Hey, cuz.
Yes.
Did you know you can support the show by picking up a N2P podcast shirt from our website?
Yeah, I did. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, just go to campfyrepod.com/merch and click on any of the links there, and you can buy a shirt. They're on sale right now until Easter, so you better hurry up.
I know. I've got to get a couple more.
Yes, I have one on the way. So that's campfyrepod.com/merch. campfyrepod.com/merch. MERCH. Anything you buy from that Amazon link, we'll make a small commission off at no extra charge to you. So please help support the show.
Yes, please help. Hi, I'm Lourdes.
And I'm Eric, but you can call me Tello. This show is a family-oriented show, but it's oriented from the adult perspective. We talk about adult situations, and very often we use adult language. So if there's any kids in the room, kick their asses out. They don't belong here right now. Unless they want to learn something about life.
Right, this may not be suitable for children. And I'd like to add, I don't want to make anybody mad, and I love my family and friends.
I do too. How much do you love your family and friends, cuz?
A lot. Like, a lot.
Enough to,
you know.
Enough to let them take over your house for a night and just drive you mad?
Pretty much. And then, be like, sure, anytime.
Anytime. I had a great time. It was lovely.
Who cares if my husband's going to divorce me?
Oh, God, I hope you're just kidding. Yes, welcome to episode 37. So. Episode 37, where everything is great in life. Nothing bad ever happens. Nothing bad ever happens. Aren't we just so blessed?
We are. Is this 37 take 2?
Part 2, yeah. 37, the sequel. What my cousin's referring to is last night we tried to record this, and you had a house full of relatives. What was going on?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm just going to put it out there. We have an open door policy here at the house. And I'm sure many people can understand that just by the bathroom door. I mean, the bathroom being in my room.
Yes, people and just so everyone knows, we have a pretty large extended family. We're
yes.
Pretty tight knit. We all live. For the most part, our family lives in the same town, the town that you and I grew up in. So you're still in that town. So I've escaped. So you've been left to deal with everyone else.
Yes, I have, and it's I love kids. I do. I have just like this soft spot, and it's my weakness.
Is that the soft spot right on top of your head? Oh my goodness, look at that bald spot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You need to buy some of that spray that covers it up.
I'm just going to shave my head.
They sell it for men.
You have a soft spot on top of your head for kids?
Yeah, a soft spot in my heart. It's just, I'm a weak link. And they know how to get to me. Yeah. And so yesterday I had 4 of my nieces and nephews. The oldest being 14 and the youngest being 9.
Ooh.
And so that was the group. And then when we tried to record, we added I'll just say he's going to be 6 months. So that's 5 little people here in my house. And it just, no fue bueno.
And the 6-month-old wanted to be on the podcast so badly.
Oh, yeah. He was like yelling from across the house.
He doesn't even know what a podcast is, but he was like, I need to be heard by everyone in this house. And any microphone that's on is going to pick me up.
Yes. And it was so funny because Isabel opened the door. And I'm like looking at her like I'm trying to record here.
Hey, Mija, don't you see me sitting in front of this microphone with your cousin Eric on the screen here?
And I felt so bad for her because like her hair is like she had taken a shower, so her hair originally was up in a towel, and then I guess the the baby took it down. I don't know. But part of her hair around her face had already kind of dried. So it was kind of like frizzy and curly. And she has long hair. And she walks in with this baby that has a head full of hair. And he had been crying. He looks over at me. And his lip like kind of is like curled up. And Isabel's like, they left me a crying baby. They left. And he's been crying. And I'm just like looking at her like, I can't help you right now. I'm doing a show. I felt pretty bad.
Did it give you a glimpse of what it might be like for motherhood with Isabel if whenever that she comes into that season of her life?
I have to tell you that when I made it back home from picking up Priscilla, Isabel and I had already put the baby to sleep, but Isabel was holding him because she'd put him down and he'd start to wake up. So when we got back around, I guess it was around 10:15 last night, she laid him down and I was like, Isabel, I was like, y'all, I was like, this is something you have to look forward to when, when y'all decide to start having family. So
keep your legs closed for the meantime.
Yes. And of course their responses were typical, shit, hell no, da 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 da. And I'm like, that's what you say now, but
because that's what I used to say then.
Yeah. And I had you when I was 20.
Now look at y'all. Look at y'all now. Still crying.
I know it would be, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying obviously because they're girls and stuff happens and that's fine. But I also have an open mind as far as I'm not stupid, I know what people do when they're 19 and 20 years old.
I don't like where this conversation's going. You're lying. Well, shut up.
Sorry, hit the glass. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it was an eventful, loud evening.
Very loud.
Yeah.
But we did. I did get something. We had a conversation last night that I want to play back in a couple of minutes that I thought was hilarious. And even though there's some background noise, and I tried to clean it up as best I could, you might still hear some background noise and stuff. But it was such a funny conversation. I wanted to make sure that we included it. But before that, last week I mentioned that I was going to have a trivia question or a trivia contest with our parents.
Yes.
It turns out the audio, it was not so great. It wasn't too fun or exciting, and so I'm not going to include it this week. But we did get a message from both of our moms because of our 1-year podcast-iversary. So I want to play that message from them first. You down for that?
Okay. Let's hear it.
All right, here we go.
I actually think that y'all are doing great for the fact that y'all are so open, that you express yourselves with no holding back. Everyday things, life. And I like that.
Well, I wish y'all the best, and I hope y'all continued success, and I wish y'all shows stay good like they are now.
They're so sweet.
Yeah, I think Mom was still half asleep when I called her, and that's she didn't do so great on the quiz, and I think that was part of the reason why.
Gosh, get off her back! You're giving her such a hard time.
Shut up, man! Why are you always judging her because she believes in science?
Well, actually, I really liked my mom's comment. It was very positive, but I'm a little concerned.
Why is that?
Because I mean, I'm just curious of how many shows she's actually listened to.
I think she listened to the half of the first one, and then she heard her name come up and didn't like what you said, so then she turned it off and never listened again. And since then, she's been getting like filtered versions of the show through my mom, who listens to every episode.
But couldn't get any of the quizzes right. No, I'm joking.
Hey, man, you shut your face. My mom is an elderly woman. Her memory's not what it used to be. And shut up. I don't like you.
I'm just picturing your mom listen to this show and getting a pen and a paper for the next show so she could take notes. Aunt Becky, I'm kidding.
You wait, Easter's coming up, man. You're going to see her at Easter, and she's going to kick your ass. She's going to throw you through her porch.
I know. I get nervous with with your mom and my mom. I have to be careful because sometimes my mom's like, "You're a smart ass." I mean, she doesn't really say that like that, but she says, "Smart ass." Yeah. She's like, "I'm gonna kick your ass." I'm like, "Oh gosh."
Oh, come on, because they're in their 60s. Your mom has one kidney. My mom has arthritis. If we had to in a fight, we could take them both.
That's the problem.
And
I would just have to stand there and let her like attack me.
don't stand there. Just move around, man. Get a couple of angles on her. Just dodge. And like less than a minute, she'll be winded. And then she'll be asking you to help her sit down so she can catch her breath. You'll all be good. It's fine. Mom might catch me with a left hook, but as long as I can stay away and float like a butterfly a little bit, I could wear my mom out too. I wouldn't have, I'm not saying raise your hands to your parents, but just let them win themselves out. It'll be fine.
That is so wrong. That would be funny, actually. No, it wouldn't.
Mom, I love you. I'm just kidding. I would never do that, obviously.
She's probably saying, "Yeah, right."
She's going to call your mom and tell her that we're planning to beat them up.
You better not talk to them anymore.
No, all I'm saying is if I don't win the Easter prize this year, somebody's getting winded. Somebody's going to wear themselves out because I'm going to start an argument and make them chase after me.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. We can talk about this later. I'm just trying to figure out the adult side of it, the game.
Do you? Oh, well, that's an interesting point. Do you feel like an adult, or do you just feel like you're an older version of that child that you used to be? If that makes sense.
It makes sense, and I understand your question, but for some reason, I don't really remember like a lot of the Easter egg stuff. I mean, I think I remember some of us going to like a park once or twice. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's kind of weird because Easter's always been at my grandma's house when they were alive. But I do remember going to a park a couple times.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't really remember. I mean, I have like maybe one memory of us doing an Easter egg hunt at grandma's. Us being a part of that. Other than that, I don't remember. So to answer your question, not that I feel like the child that I used to be, because I don't obviously remember the stuff. But yes,
I'm not talking about just Easter. I'm just talking about in general. Cause
yeah, hello.
Yeah,
just because I look old, I do consider myself young as a child. So
when you look in the mirror and you
stuff.
see those big dark circles under your eyes and those wrinkles in your forehead,
yeah,
you're like, hey. I'm just kidding.
No, listen to it. Go ahead.
Well, I usually just feel like when I get together with my friends, I feel like I'm back in high school again. My high school friends. Mm-hmm. I feel like we pick up right where we left off. And even though they have kids, like when we're all together, it is a house. It's like your house last night. It's a house full of kids ranging from infant to teenager. And I feel like I'm still just a teenager. Most of my friends in Austin right now are like 10, 15 years younger than me because I went back to school at a late age. But I constantly had to remind myself that I'm much older than these. Well, I don't mean, when I say kids, I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but I mean,
Right.
I was a teenager in high school when they were born, so they're still kids to me in a lot of ways. But when I hang out with them, it's very rare that I felt old unless somebody pointed out the age difference, which was usually me. But, just trying to relate to them and stuff like that, it felt like we're all on the same level until they wanted to, like if it came to a party situation, I would go, but like I couldn't hang the same way that I used to. Definitely, I don't drink anymore, so couldn't drink, and if there was anything else going on, I would do that until I couldn't do that anymore. And then it's just like, hey, man, my body would remind me that you're not a kid anymore. But as far as the way I felt, otherwise, personality and stuff like that, I very rarely felt like, okay, I'm the adult here. You should be doing that. And it's only when I felt like somebody was doing something that was dangerous to them, like with our family. If I see one of the kids doing something that I feel like might put them in danger, I'll stop them and correct them, and that's when I feel like an adult. Otherwise, I just feel like a big kid.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I don't. Sometimes it's
Same.
yeah. Sometimes I acknowledge it so much. Like, I'm like, wait, I need to like step back. And it's harder for me because my girls are, Isabel's about to be 20. Priscilla's 18. I consider myself young. And it's funny when we walk out of our rooms, like if we're all going somewhere and we're getting ready when we walk out, and we're kind of wearing the same style of clothes. And I'm like, this is not cool. I need to change.
Is that really happen?
Yes. It's happened several times. And I'm like, damn, I can't look like a teenager because I'm dressing the same way they are. Obviously, I don't like wear crop tops and, well, they don't either, but you know what I'm saying. It's just, that's been hard for me.
Hard in what way? Well, it's good that you recognize that, but hard in what way?
Because,
does it make you feel old? Or older? It does?
It makes you feel like where I have to stop and say, wait, I have to be the adult here. Not that dressing, there is a difference in the way you dress, and I have to remind myself I'm not a kid. I'm not going to go to one of Luisa's family functions, my in-laws, and me and my daughters are dressed almost the same.
Well, no, that's good. I don't mean this as a joke or a pun, but that's very mature of you, because some mothers try to hold on to their youth and try to live through their daughters, especially if they have daughters, just trying to hang on to every second that they can of that youthful sex appeal, that lifestyle, that just whatever they can. They're looking for the fountain of youth, and they find it in their children, and I think it's dangerous, and that might be me becoming an old man. But as far as the way,
a creepy old man.
How dare you? No, how's that creepy that I think an older woman trying to look younger than she is, like not just like wearing makeup or something to make her look prettier. I mean, like trying really hard to be 20 years younger than she actually is.
Yeah.
That to me is dangerous mentally, and just not a healthy attitude to have towards yourself.
Yeah.
But another thing that makes me feel older is when I'm in public and I see an attractive woman from a distance, and I get closer and I think, oh my goodness, is she in her 20s? I hope, at least. And now that's a creepy feeling. Because then I'm like, oh my goodness, how'd your parents let you out of the house dressed like this? And then I'm thinking, well, shoot, if that's your mom right there, she's dressed just like you.
Now, I have to say this. If I go out if it's just Luis and I that go out, I'll dress however I want. I try to keep it classy,
keep it real,
I guess. Yeah. But if the kids are with us, I don't like doing that. I need to look like a parent, so that if somebody starts to act crazy, I'm like, I'm their mother. And here's my ID. I can buy the alcohol. No, I'm joking.
There you go. I can get my kids drunk. That's legal. That's perfectly legal.
Oh, goodness. So let's hear this clip we were...
Yeah. All right. Here we go. So just to set it up again, we were trying to record last night. You had a house full of kids and a crying baby in the background. I've tried to clean this up as best I can, but there's still some background noise. But I thought it was just a funny conversation. I want to include it right now.
Okay.
Last week, there was a lot of talk about...
Penocha? Oh, no.
Remember that? Man, this sounds really loud. I must have done something. I'm trying to run all kinds of stuff over here. I don't know what the heck I did. Anyway, a lot of talk about that. My mom told me that it's actually a pastry, a Cuban pastry anyway, or a bread, a Cuban bread. But I looked it up myself, and according to Wikipedia, the most trusted site on the internet for all your information and misinformation, it says panocha. In New Mexico and southern Colorado is a pudding made from ground sprouted wheat and piloncillo. You ever heard of that? You know what that is?
Yes. It's like this cone-looking brown sugars thing. It's called piloncillo.
Okay. It is traditionally eaten during Lent. So we're in Lent right now.
Yes.
So
and no, we haven't. Oh, I have not eaten. What are we talking about? What are we eating here?
It's called panocha.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't eaten any during Lent either. So, although today we're recording on a Friday, so I can't eat meat. So maybe I should eat some. If the so it's the sprouted wheat flour is called panocha flour, or simply panocha as well. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar? Okay.
No. This is all good news. I mean, this is all news to me. I shouldn't say good.
In other regions, panocha can mean penuche or panuche. In Spanish slang, it is a taboo word for the vulva. Isn't that a car company?
So I wonder where we got our definition from.
It says, a fact that has led to many deliberate and accidental puns. It can also mean a coward.
Oh. That's interesting.
In some regions of Spain, una panocha de maíz is an ear of corn.
It's okay. So we're still not even close to.
Well, I mean, that's all it says. So I haven't had any panocha this Lent, so maybe
I wonder where that came from. I think my mom and them were lying to us again.
What? Do you know? Because you know what a vulva is?
No.
It's do you know what?
I thought it was really a car.
No, that's a Volvo. Because are you familiar with the female anatomy?
Oh, I found it. The female external
Go ahead. The female external what?
genitals.
Not
Genitals.
There you go.
Hold on.
Yes,
Come
be
in.
very gentle.
Come in. Gosh, somebody's knocking on my door.
Yeah, tell them to come in so they can be on the show, because that's the rule. You interrupt the show, you got to get on mic.
Oh. It's the external opening of the vagina or reproductive tract in a female mammal or nematode.
Nematode?
I did not know that.
Because you're a woman. How do you not know that? This is what happens when you drop out of high school.
Okay. Do you remember what year you learned what the vulva was?
Yeah, I was 14.
That you had dirty magazines.
No, they didn't teach you that. They just called it what'd they call it? They called it one of these.
Panocha? It says the vulva includes the mons pubis, pubis, lambia, mohara. Some fish.
Hey, if you go to
the clitoris, vestibular bulbs.
Did you talk about my future nephew, Clint Taurus? My brother's future son?
Oh, gosh. That's disgusting. I feel like such a fool.
Well, look.
I fell for the Volvo.
I thought you were joking along with me, but hey, look. If nothing else can be said about the show, it's educational, right?
There you go. Hey, I learn something new all the time.
Good.
And then when I listen to our playback, I realize how much I mispronounce and use things. Like,
go ahead.
I just do too much all the time.
Because that's part of the charm of the show. I don't know if you know that. If you start pronouncing everything correctly and using words correctly, this show it's dead. It's over. It's dead in the water. Speaking of mispronunciations, all right, that was a clip. We're back to the regular show. I want to apologize for my Spanish. It is not my first language. It's not even my second language, but I'm working on it. I've been working on it for like 27, 28 years now. I'm 39, so I don't know when I started trying to learn Spanish. But I also mispronounced Colorado. I said like Colorado or something like that. But I didn't realize it last night when you were reading the definition. The word that you said, lambia morajo?
Moraja.
I think what you were talking about was a labia majora.
Maybe not.
Do you know what that is?
I'd have to Google it.
Do you know what labia is? Like, that's
Maybe.
Latin. It's a Latin term, but think in Spanish. What does labia sound like in Spanish?
Oh, lip. Oh, the larger outer folds of the vulva.
I'm glad we're using medical terms. Still very awkward. I know I can joke and stuff with all the dirty words, but when you start to get technical, it starts to get weird.
Gosh. I'm going to have to take an anatomy class now.
Oh, I'll say, oh my
I would
goodness.
probably fail.
I mean, based on what you've done over the past couple of days, yeah, I might agree with you on that.
Oh, gosh. So, yeah.
So how do you feel about your pronunciation of things now?
I feel like such a fool.
Well, look, only on this show. The rest of the world, you're fine.
Yeah. No, I have. Actually, I was talking to a coworker of mine, and I told her, I was like, my vocabulary is so small. And I read a lot, and there's obviously words that I don't know, and I have to Google. But to still try to incorporate new words in my vocabulary, it's hard because it doesn't feel natural. I'm not confident enough with the words, so I'm like, whatever.
Well,
I'll just
find a way to
stick to
use
the
it 3
basics.
times and it's yours.
Whatever. I'm going to have to carry around little cue cards that I refer to. Make sure I get this definition right.
Cuz
But
I'm so
yeah,
surprised and
it's
proud of you.
interesting.
You're being so pragmatic about this.
Am I?
I think so.
Oh, gosh.
Do you know what pragmatic means?
I'm being, no, tell me. I'm afraid it might be wrong.
What do you think it means?
Say it again.
Pragmatic. I said you're being so pragmatic about this.
Pragmatic?
Yeah.
Practical? I don't know.
Yeah, basically, look, the reason I use that word is because that's a word I always forget the definition of. I had to look it up right now to make sure I was using it right. I was trying to trap you. But I was trying to trap you so that I could trap myself. Pragmatic means dealing with things sensibly and realistically in a way that is based on practical rather than theoretical considerations. So yeah, it means, yeah.
Yeah.
But I used it in a way that had a lot of context clues to help you out. So you're welcome.
So this morning, I know I had texted you and I was like, I'm ready. So I was like setting up, turning everything on, and I opened my laptop and I'm like, damn, I cannot see. I forgot to put my contacts on.
Oh my goodness. That's the way I am in the mornings. Like, if you text me, don't expect me to be able to answer you right away until I get my glasses on, because I can't see. It can be right here in front of my face and I'm like, oh, that's too bright. And I pull it away where the brightness isn't that bad. Then I can't read the letters.
Yeah, I could see.
But I still feel young at heart.
I know, right? No shit. I feel the same way.
Until I sit up and I'm like, oh, my back. Oh, man. I need to crack all my bones.
Well, I can't sleep for too long or lay in the same position for too long because then my back starts hurting. So I can relate to that.
I thought you were going to say you can't lay in the same position too long, otherwise you get pregnant.
Oh gosh. Let's just not talk about pregnancy.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, speaking of like health and stuff, taking care of yourself, didn't you go to the dentist recently?
I did, and it scared the living daylights out of me. I let my friend I work with kind of rub off on me because she's very dramatic and has a fear of going to the dentist.
That means that she has bad teeth, and every time she goes, it's painful.
No, it was kind of crazy because she was like talking about the last time she had a tooth pulled and that she could hear cracking and
oh, that's horrible.
She could hear all kinds of stuff, and she kept grabbing the dentist's hand and was like, the dentist was telling her, "You've got to stop."
What was he doing with his hand?
He's trying to pull her tooth out.
He's like, "Here, suck down some more of this laughing gas. You'll be fine."
So, I don't know. I guess just listening to her, it kind of like got in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I went, I was feeling super nervous.
Well,
and
previous times that you've been to the dentist, have you felt this kind of nervousness, or were you just okay with it?
No, I'm pretty chill. Like, it doesn't bother me. The drilling sounds sometimes get to me, but for the most part, when they drill, like you hear that zzz, it sounds like a drill. I don't know. It's just like.
Oh, when they're cleaning your teeth, or are they actually drilling in you?
I think they kind of sound the same. That little.
Okay. Well, because if they're cleaning your teeth, they're just cleaning your teeth. But if there's I've never had to have a tooth drilled. I luckily, thank goodness, come from good genes, I guess. My teeth, first time I went to the dentist, I was 30 years old, and I was so afraid that I was going to have cavities and have to get drilled. But they x-rayed my teeth, cleaned them, and they're like, "Hey, man, no cavities. You got strong teeth." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I exercise them a lot."
Well, that was one of the reasons why I had the dental work, because I have...
You don't exercise your teeth enough?
I do. But years ago, I had one of my bottom left molars removed. Something to do with my wisdom tooth and whatever in that area.
So they took your wisdom with it?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So I don't have the bottom molar, but the top molar had gotten a cavity. And I didn't know this. I don't know if you know this, but your teeth continue to grow. And the only reason they stop growing is because the bottom teeth or the top teeth, whatever, they meet each other and they stop.
Because you're like a beaver.
I know. It gets better. So I have this tooth back there. It has a cavity in it, and they can repair it. But she's like, you're going to either have to get an implant at the bottom, or eventually that tooth is going to continue to come down until it hits your bottom gum. So I'll have like a huge tooth back there.
By the way, that's so attractive. That's the new thing in this season. So congratulations for being on the cusp of that.
So anyway, I'm laying in the chair, and I'm feeling nervous. I think I mentioned to you, I started praying, and I was like saying the Our Father and the Hail Mary like together. Like, I don't even really know.
The Hail Father?
Yes.
Our Mary?
So I was like, dear God, please let this be over with soon. And I'd start with one and I'd end it with the other. And so...
had they given you any drugs at this point? Like, were you gassed up or anything?
She didn't give me any gas, but what happened was, when it really freaked me out, is that they injected what she referred to as juice in my teeth.
Then you had this superhuman strength, and you broke through the straps, and you beat everybody up in the dentist's office. No. They were like, experiment 17B works.
No. She had to numb, obviously,
Your superhero name is called Super Beaver Tooth.
Super Beaver Tooth. No, she numbed me at the roof of my mouth towards the back. So I guess it kind of like, she says it kind of basically like balloons up a little bit.
Like it's swollen, you mean?
Yes. But she referred to it like, oh, it's like a little balloon. But I could feel like my tongue was it was pushing or putting pressure on my tongue.
It was so when pressing against it. I get it. Yeah.
It's like the Hail Mary, Father. And I felt like I couldn't swallow. So then I really start to get nervous. And I kept thinking, well, I feel like I'm trying to talk. I feel like I can't really swallow. And I was like, well, and I was telling myself, if anything, you can still breathe through your nose. Just make sure your throat doesn't close up.
So you breathe your nose is all like, oh, thank goodness.
So she was asking me throughout the process, you okay? And I feel like my fingers are like just going like, I'm like, uh-huh. So anyway, she finally gets the tooth out after she tells me, no rush. I'm just taking my time. I don't have anywhere to be. I'm just going to keep trying. And I can feel the pressure. I felt like she was struggling. So, anyway, she's like, you're all done. You did great. And
why didn't she just give you a log to chew on?
I know, right? Because the reason why she couldn't give me a log to chew on is because...
I know why, because you're not really a beaver.
Because that tooth has no purpose. Because the only chewing effect it's going to have is if it can hit against something.
Oh, the bottom tooth that you don't have anymore.
Right.
So what's the solution?
They pulled it out. So I get up.
Oh, they pulled out your top tooth? The big giant beaver tooth?
Yes. And because that tooth
please tell me you have a picture of this.
I didn't. I was in so much shock. I kept looking at it and they kind of laughed.
Was it a big tooth?
It was a big tooth. I don't really know, I guess because we only see part of our teeth and, the roots are all up there. It just looked huge. And of course, I thought of your favorite because I was like, she'd probably get off to seeing this.
She'd probably get off to smelling it.
Probably. And it had it had like a little black spot from the cavity. And that was embarrassing.
Because that's disgusting. No wonder you didn't take a picture.
And it was bloody. But it was so big. And I said that like 3 or 4 times. And the nurse or the
doctor was like, thanks for noticing.
She has a vulva.
Well, you know what? I hear they're the safest vehicles on the road. She's very pragmatic in her choice of cars.
Oh. Anyway, so it was a big tooth. And I feel still kind of sore. That was Wednesday. So yeah. I have another tooth that kind of broke off that I have to get pulled.
Oh, cuz what's happening to your teeth? You have to get some fake teeth.
Yeah, like $3,000 worth of teeth.
That's better than $7,000 worth of braces.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, I told you, I think I told you this. I'll tell it again if I have. I have this underbite. I'm not too pleased about it, but it's, what can I do? It's part of my face. It's how I have to live. I went to a dentist once to get a rough estimate of what it would cost to fix it. They told me $7,000 for braces. I need braces first, so straighten out my teeth. But they would also have to section my jaw, so there's surgery involved. And that oral surgery was anywhere from $60,000 to $90,000, and my insurance covered 0 of it.
Yeah.
So $67,000 to $97,000 to fix my underbite. I'm like, well, I'm going through life like this. If my cousin can go through life as a beaver, I can go through life as like this underbitten ogre.
Oh, that's
this hairy ogre of a man with a very caveman-like underbite, a slightly protruding brow. I think I might be a lost Neanderthal. I'm a freaking caveman.
Oh, cuz. That's all right. Yeah. We all have issues with our mouths. I thought about getting braces too, but just to fix this one section of my mouth would be like $3,000.
That's ridiculous. But you have a nice smile, so I don't know that you need braces, really.
asked the dentist actually, and she said this bottom part, I need to have like some of the teeth need to be twisted, like reshaped, or to straighten them, because there are little crooked teeth right there.
Well, just don't smile with your bottom teeth. I have to smile with my bottom teeth because I have this underbite. But what can I do? I just do an open mouth. I usually do an open mouth smile if I'm thinking about it. I'll smile like, nice. Yeah, all right. Good. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, goodness gracious. So what else has been going on, cuz?
Last weekend, I had brunch with your sister, my fave cuz Phoebe.
Brunch?
Yeah, well, I mean, she called it brunch, but she told me to meet her there at 12:30. So I'm like, how do you call brunch if it's after lunch? Should be more like Lenner or something like that. Lupper, what do you want to call it? Lunch and dinner, lunch and supper. Or just lunch. I mean, hey, 12:30 is still lunchtime to me. So, hey, meet me for lunch.
Probably because she just woke up around 11:30.
Yeah, well, first of all, I had to cheat on my diet. I didn't have to, but I chose to because I was with my fave cuz. I wanted to enjoy my meal. And she picked a Mexican restaurant, which was actually really good. I thought it was really good. But I was running late, so I texted her. I was like, hey, I'm going to be late. And she was like, oh, we're already on the way, golly. And so I got there about 20 minutes late. So it's actually closer to 1 when I had my brunch. Right? I get there. They've already ordered, so I place my order. And we're talking and stuff. And she's jealous of you. She thinks that you are my fave cuz, even though you're my number 2 cuz. Yeah, and I tell her all the time she's my fave cuz. I tell everybody I meet when I talk about her, if you ever meet Phoebe, make sure you tell her that I told you she's my fave cuz. Just so there's no mistaking. But that doesn't matter.
She is your fave cuz.
She is. I love
There's
her.
no
And she's not
doubt.
selfish at all. And I want to put that on the record.
For
So
her
if
to
anybody
even
calls
think
herself,
that
for her to think that is ridiculous. She's going to hate me so much. She's going to hate me even more after I tell this story. So I get there, like I said, I'm about 20 minutes late. I place my order. Everyone else has already ordered. When the food starts coming out, Phoebe's partner, Angie, sent her food back because there was some stuff in there that she doesn't like. So Phoebe's teasing her, I hope you like spitting your food, that kind of thing, or, even worse, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they ask if anybody else needs anything, and Phoebe reminds them that she hasn't gotten her food yet. And I joke, I'm like, yeah, and I haven't gotten my food yet either. And she's like, you were late. And I was like, I know, I'm just kidding, So a couple minutes later, they bring out my food. And Phoebe still hasn't gotten hers. So I go into this overly dramatic, like, oh man, this food is so good. It tastes so good. And it did. It was good. It was delicious. It was barbacoa and al pastor. And it came with some corn tortillas. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm definitely cheating. And it was like real Mexican. Like the tortillas had grease in it where they were cooking it in oil instead of just like warming them up in the microwave. Yeah. And I ate rice and beans too, which aren't part of my diet, but it was worth it. It was a good little cheat.
Yeah.
So I'm making these tacos and I'm just like savoring every bite in front of her. She's like, all right, fatty, you wait. I'm not paying for your food. And I was like, cuz I didn't come here so you could pay for my food. But secretly I'm like, all right, look, if she's willing to pay for my food, I'll take it. Hell yeah, man. I'm not going to turn that down. But if she doesn't, I came prepared to pay for. I didn't expect her to pay for my food is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's how not selfish she is. She was planning to pay for my food. But now she's using it against me to keep me from making fun of her.
That is not selfish at all.
No, not at all. So a lot of time passes, and I know Phoebe's getting upset, and I don't blame her. If I were in the situation, I'd be upset too, but I'm not in the situation, so I just keep making it worse.
Oh, no.
She tells the waitress, she sees her again, comes out, she's like, just go ahead and cancel my order. I don't want to eat anymore. And then the waitress doesn't speak much English, and she's like, yeah. And Phoebe's like, yeah, just cancel it. And then Phoebe's complaining, I'm going to have to stop and get a hamburger someplace because I haven't eaten yet. And Angie's food comes out like 2 seconds later, and so does Phoebe's. They put the food right in front of her. She's like, no, go ahead, just take it. I don't want it. And the lady just leaves it there. So Phoebe says, all right, well, can you give me a to-go box? And everybody's like, to go? We're still eating our food. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm still eating this delicious breakfast.
Oh my gosh, this delicious brunch.
Yeah, this delicious brunch. So they bring out the to-go box, and Phoebe boxes it up, and she's visibly angry. But I can't stop. I just keep teasing her. But while we were waiting for her food, she tells me this story that, it's so funny and just so Phoebe. Like, Phoebe's pretty blessed, but sometimes she hits a string of bad luck that's just, it's only Phoebe.
It's like, really?
She tells me that Angie had planned a date night, and she found out about the date night because Phoebe handles all the bills. So she sees this charge for $160, and she's like, what the hell is this?
I can only imagine.
And Phoebe's very frugal, as you know. So when she sees a $160 charge, she's like, what is this? And she said, were you planning a date night? And Angie's like, yeah, I didn't mean to ruin the surprise, but yeah, it's a date night. So it's $160. And then she says, on top of that, they had to pay $30 for childcare for Presley. All right. So just say $200 for this date night. They're big fans of America's Got Talent, the TV show. And Angie got tickets to see this clown comedian. Okay, clown.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who knows Phoebe knows that she hates clowns, just like I do. I hate clowns too. So already that's strike one.
Oh, no.
Strike two is, which is probably actually the real strike one, is that Angie got this comedian confused with the one that Phoebe liked the best on the show. This one is the one that Phoebe liked the least.
Oh my God.
So it's not even a comedian that she likes. And she says they go to the show and Angie's cracking up. She loves it. But Phoebe's just like
pissed,
miserable the entire time. She said she might have laughed once or twice throughout the whole thing. Whole evening.
That is so
$200 evening. Yeah. And she did not enjoy herself. So I'm talking about when her food is late, I'm bringing this up too. And I'm reminding her about the clown comedian and their food is late. So we finally finish up and everything, and Phoebe's calmed down a little bit. But me, the younger cousin, the asshole in the family, I got to keep digging. So I keep teasing her about it. And her friend is leaving, and she's telling her to be sure and come to her birthday party. I don't hear this entire conversation. I just hear that Phoebe said something like she's not sure about the price and stuff. So I turned to the friend. I'm like, don't let her cheap out on you. She spent $200 to see a clown comedian she didn't like, and she bought a breakfast she didn't even eat this morning.
Oh my gosh, because she was probably ready to throw the whole to-go container at you.
Well, afterwards, she told me that her friend was inviting her to a painting party. She rented out this, I don't know if you're familiar, they have these places where you can go paint a portrait of something or just paint a picture of something and drink while you're there.
Yeah,
it's like a painting and drinking thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what her friend wanted to do for her birthday, but it was $60 a person.
Yeah.
So for the two of them to go, it's $120.
Oh,
that sounds like another bad date night. So she's telling me this. I'm like, damn, if I'd have known this, I'd have taken your side. She's like, yeah, you never go against me. And I was like, yeah, well, I was just busting your chops.
Well,
so hang on, wait. It was $60 to paint a picture of her friend's dog. Phoebe said, I wouldn't pay $60 to paint a portrait of my son. And he's 2 seats away.
Oh my gosh.
He's 2 seats away, he's playing with Angie's iPhone, so he's like just completely in his own world. But he's so adorable. He's when I used to live with him, he was going through the terrible twos, but he's, at least when I see him now in public, he's a really good kid. He came up to me and asked me if I had a quarter, which who carries change on them now?
I know.
And I thought, I'm gonna be the nice older cousin. I dig in my pockets like, I don't have a quarter, but I pull out my wallet and I'm like, how about $1? Because like $1 to a kid might as well be $1 million. And he says, no, just a quarter. And I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I might have some in my car. I said, come with me to check. So we go outside. And yeah, I rummaged in my change and I found some quarters. I found 3 quarters. So again, I want to be the generous older cousin. No, I found 4 quarters. It was $1. I was like, hey, here's 4 quarters. And he's like, oh, I just need the one. I was like, Okay. So I tell Phoebe this story, and she's all proud and stuff. But she's like, yeah, see, he's not greedy. I raised him to be, just a good boy. I was like, yeah, you did. So he's using the quarter. He goes to buy a gumball with it. And then, like, 2 seconds after Phoebe's all proud of her non-greedy son, he's like, Eric, can I have 2 more quarters? I'm like, yeah, man, definitely. I have them on me now. So he goes and gets, I don't know, probably another gumball.
Oh, that is too funny.
That was my brunch with your sister, my fave cuz. And by the way, Angie ended up buying my lunch and everything. She paid for all of our food, so Phoebe still had to pay for my lunch after I busted her chops that hard.
I just have a comment. Okay, possibly could it be that Phoebe did not enjoy the clown show because she had already seen how much Angie spent on it and knew how much its a total was?
I'm sure that played a part in it, but being that it was already a comedian that she didn't like that much and it was a clown, the clown part, I can't imagine going to see a clown comedian. I have no idea what that would be like. She said I would enjoy it. She said it was my type of humor. But just the fact that it's a clown, I don't think I could have gotten off to it at all.
It's like, what was Angie thinking?
She thought she was doing a good thing.
Poor Angie.
I know, poor Angie. She's
she ruined the surprise, and
that
she got
is typical
it wrong.
of Angie's luck. Angie tries to do something nice, and it just didn't work out.
Oh, it's too funny. Yeah,
but didn't you? Oh, no, you were telling me when I first told you about this. You were telling me that you had an issue with a restaurant too, right?
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny that So Luis and I, little Luis, we go have dinner the other night, and my plate comes with a little bit of guacamole, and so I have to because I know a lot of places cook with onions, and I don't like raw onions.
But you like cooked onions.
I'll eat cooked onions, but yeah, raw, especially in guacamole, I don't like it. So I asked the waiter, it's like, I want guacamole, but I don't want any onions. And he's like, well, it's made with onions, but they're small and you can hardly taste them. I was like, okay. And I was like, how do you know what I can taste and what I can't taste, especially if I don't like onions?
He's like, just use that big giant beaver tooth to mash them up.
So I thought that was funny. I was like, how do people think that?
I know. Like, they're supposed to like go out of their way to get what they can for you. How does he know what your taste buds taste?
I have no idea.
Go ahead.
So, actually, yesterday at work, we had one of the coworkers prepare lunch for the entire building, and so part of it was like tuna salad and some other stuff with crackers.
Yeah.
And that. So I asked one of the ladies, I was like, do you know if there's onions in there? And she's like, I don't think so, but if they are, they're probably small. You probably can't even taste them. I'm like thinking, where do you people get off in saying what I can taste and what I can't taste?
Well, they know how your brain works. They obviously can taste through your taste buds.
Well, I have to tell you something. While I was eating the tuna salad, I kept looking at it, like, to see if I could see it. Yeah. And I don't know if it was an onion or a piece of celery or what it was, but it looked like a little small diced onion. And I was like, well, here it goes.
Over the teeth and through the gums. Look out, stomach. Here it comes.
And I can only chew on the right side of my mouth right now because if my
you remove that beaver tooth.
That beaver tooth is gone, so there's like a big hole in there. Anyway, I didn't taste the onion if it was.
See, because you can hardly taste.
That's
not where I was expecting that to go. No, but I understand. I have a friend who doesn't like cilantro. And I'm like, how do you not like cilantro? And she's engaged to a Mexican guy and he doesn't like cilantro. I'm like, whoa.
What?
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. But here's the thing. They say that to them, those two, it's a good thing they found each other. It tastes like soap to them.
Yeah. What? I mean,
I like how you had to
first
think.
of all,
like,
wait. How does, I mean, like, why do you taste soap, period?
I mean, I guess it's just the way their brain is wired to their taste buds. And I'm like, okay, well, if it tastes like soap, I get that. So, like, if they go someplace and they put cilantro on top and, you know, they don't know, like, they can't eat their food because it's like, imagine if you went to a restaurant and somebody just poured, like, dish soap all over your food. Like, well, okay, I get it. All right, so it tastes differently to them than it does to me. To me, it tastes delicious and refreshing.
Oh my gosh,
But
I could just eat
Yeah,
it on anything. That's crazy.
that is crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Oh, there it is.
It's crazy.
Damn, I gotta get faster with that. Maybe I need to. Maybe I should retire some of these.
I think you should just keep it going.
Good, because like if you say something funny and then
So I have a little short story.
is this an original short story by you?
Yeah. So before we went to Vegas, stop me if you've already heard it.
Does this end with Vegas lemonade?
No. So
Does this start with Vegas lemonade?
no, it doesn't. So I was looking for some comfortable tennis shoes. Because I knew we were
Sneakers.
going to be, I knew we were going to be walking a lot. I wanted to be comfortable. So
Was this before you left for Vegas or while you were in Vegas?
No, before I left. So I found a pair of little, like high top tennis shoes. They're super cute, and to me. So I wore them the entire time we were in Vegas. I never put any other shoes on, and my feet. I never felt like, oh, my feet ache or, you know, I can't wear these shoes anymore because my feet hurt, blah, blah. And that's usually the case with me. So I've obviously been wearing them here when I get back. And I'm like, dang, these shoes, I'm wearing them out so fast. I'm going to go ahead and buy another pair. So I go back to the store. They don't have any more. So
Just your luck.
yeah. So I get online and, well, let me back up. While we were in Vegas, we were going through one of the malls and I seen the same style of shoe. I didn't look at the brand or anything, but the style of the shoe, I was like, oh my gosh, that's like the shoe I'm wearing now. I'm like, it's a trend. I'm keeping up with the style.
I'm still youthful even though I'm almost 40.
So that also had something to do with me wanting to get another pair. Not only were they comfortable,
But
they were selling
fashionable
them
as well.
in Vegas. So yeah.
And there's nothing tacky in Vegas.
No. So I go back to the store. They're not there. I get online. I pull up the shoes. And I have to say, when I bought them, I only paid like $30-something for them. Okay. I bought them at Marshall's. I get online because they're like anywhere from $70 up to like $120, $125 for the same exact shoe.
How many pairs did you buy?
None.
Nine? You bought 9 pairs at
I've bought
$120?
zero.
Oh, okay.
I've gone back to Marshall's just hoping that they'd get another shipment in from a store that didn't want them anymore or something. I don't know where Marshall's gets their inventory from or how they get it. But I was so upset. So if anybody wants to get me some shoes,
I was wondering where this story was going.
I'm a size 6 and they're fit flop shoes. Not the suede, just the regular little high top, either white, gray, or black. If not, I understand, but I would recommend you trying out those shoes. I don't know if we can do that or not. I'm not trying to promote them. I'm just saying it's
if
very
anyone
comfortable
orders them
shoes.
for Lourdes, please go to campfyrepod.com and click on the Amazon link to order them. We might make a small commission at no extra charge to you.
Yeah,
but it'll be a good way to help support the show.
Yeah, post a comment if you find them any cheaper. I want the authentic, if that matters.
Well, if you're asking for stuff, I want to ask for stuff, but I don't know what to ask for. If you're out there, give me some Bitcoin.
Now remember, that's FitFlop. Campfyrepod.com. Amazon link.
I wish you would advertise our show as much as you advertised that shoe just now. Can't believe you told that story just to ask for a pair.
I wasn't asking. My whole point was, when I find something that I like or that's good,
I want people to buy it for me.
No, I don't think I've ever asked for anybody to buy anything. But because it's hard to find, like I don't know how many times you've bought shoes and you think they're comfortable.
The last shoes I bought were a wide width, and that's the first time I've ever had a wide width, and that's when I discovered I need a wide width. These shoes are ugly as sin, and I haven't been able to find another affordable, not affordable, I haven't been able to find another reasonably priced pair of wide width shoes. So I'm still wearing these ugly ass shoes because they're more comfortable to me than a good looking pair of new shoes that are just too tight for my fat feet.
Well, you might need to look into this style of shoe.
So if anybody wants to buy me some wide width shoes.
No, because the style, the material, I guess, not the sole of the shoe, but the outer part of it, the fabric, is almost like a knit type. It stretches.
Oh yeah, it's like a mesh. So it's real breathable.
Yes. And my feet, just in case anybody wants
Your
to
Fred
know,
Flintstone feet.
Yes, they're flat, they're fat, and
they look like two little bricks. When people say, "Okay, buddy, hit the bricks," they're talking about your feet. They mean, go walk like Lourdes.
And to add on to all that negativity about my feet, I've developed bunions, and they're painful. So,
but I thought you didn't like onions.
I don't like onions or bunions.
That's why you don't like onions, because you get onions on your feet. Well, you don't like Funyuns?
Oh, I love Funyuns, actually. Not
good.
Bunions. Anyway, so that was my story.
Yeah, that's a good story. I think that's now that we're asking for free stuff, that's a good place to end the show for right now.
It's a recommendation.
Anything else you want to ask? Yeah, right. Anything else you want to ask for before we end this?
Just go support our show. Spread the word.
Yeah, buy Lourdes' shoes on our website. Go to campfyrepod.com, click on the Amazon link. Like I said, anything you buy through there will make a small commission at no extra charge to you. It's just a good way to help support the show. And while you're at it, go to campfyrepod.com/merch and click on one of our shirts to buy. Another good way to support the show. The N2P Podcast Classic Logo T-shirt is on sale for $12.99 until Easter. And then after that, the price is going up. So hurry up and get yours while you can. I just ordered one. You said you had a couple to order. You better hurry up.
Yep.
All right. And if you have any funny stories you want to send us, anything you want to say to us about the show, hit us up. Social media, we're Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Num2Pod, NUMTWOPOD. Want to email us? num2pod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
And I always hit the wrong button. That's the intro. This is the outro. And here's where the confusion comes in. Listen to this. Same thing, right? Except that it doesn't have us recorded on there. You got any lyrics, cuz?
What do you think?
It's time to see that Lourdes is not prepared to say goodbye on the N2P podcast. So listen to me. Go get your teeth filed down to a reasonable size. And speaking of sizes, she wears a size 6 shoe that you can buy for her from campfyrepod.com to support the show and support her little arches. She has flat feet, she has fat feet that look like little bricks to you and me. And what about my hairy feet and hairy toes that match my chest and my back and my little ass crack that's so very, very hairy? Panocha is a pudding that you can eat during Lent. I haven't had any Norcha this Lenten season. I don't mean to be bad, but I'm just talking about the pudding made from wheat sprouts and some, what was that other brown sugar stuff called?
Piloncillo.
I haven't had any panocha with piloncillo or anything. It's been a while. All right, come on, cuz. Help me out here. I'm
I
dying.
can't. You just need to stop. You need to stop.
But I'm just wrapping up the show. What else do we talk about? The babies that are crying in the background. Goodbye.
Goodbye.